The local Muslim leaders joined in the chorus of condemnation of the Paris attack.
And a local international relations expert discusses the likelihood of a similar attack on American soil. San Diego 6's John Carroll joins us live in studio with both those aspects of this story. John.
Well, Netta and Jim, a statement from the Council on American-Islamic Relations today condemned the attack as brutal and cowardly. And a local imam we spoke with reiterated that.
There is no way that a true Muslim can commit such an act.
Taha Hassan is an imam at San Diego's largest mosque, the Islamic Center of San Diego. He says what the Paris attackers said about avenging the Prophet Muhammad would be rejected by Muhammad himself.
During his life, he received all types of crimes committed against him and his companions, and mocking and making jokes of him and fun of him and all this stuff. But he has never responded in such a brutal way. Never.
Though Hassan admits he finds cartoons making fun of Muhammad distasteful, he says freedom of speech must be respected. On the other hand, he says what he calls needless provocation should be avoided.
I believe that there are limits. Do not go provoke the entire community by insulting their, religious figures and expect nothing to come from some of the extremists of that community.
That's stunning. That's life-changing for people living in Paris.
Ellie Berman is a professor of economics at UC San Diego. He's also the research director for international security studies at the University of California's Institute on Global Conflict and Cooperation. He says when you look at what's been happening with global conflict lately, the horrific attack in Paris is not entirely surprising.
There's now a kind of a rotation of amateur jihadists, if you will, who leave Europe and come home trained, and they're capable of doing these things.
But Berman says since 9/11, such an attack is less likely here in the U.S.
What protects us now is that people with those profiles coming across the border, we can quickly identify, and if there's no reason to pick them up, you can at least monitor their activities.
But what about the larger problem? What can be done to try and stop these attacks from happening in the future? Imam Hassan says it all boils down to education.
They have to work on their own communities, educating the youth within their communities about the true image and the true meaning and sense of Islam.
Now, Imam Hassan also says the Muslim community worldwide needs the help of non-Muslims to stem Islamophobia, because he says that will only lead to more extremism among some Muslims. Live in studio tonight, John Carroll, San Diego 6 News.